Yep.
Isiah Pacheco, Jamie says, is bust proof. Dave, what do you say? Give me the devil's advocate there.
The devil's advocate is that he's a day 3 running back pick who the Chiefs seem to reluctantly give a lot of workload to. It kind of came down to, well, who else is going to do it in the second half of the year and then in the playoffs? And then he did well with it, but he still lost third down work at times. Certainly when Jerick McKinnon was healthy, McKinnon started to take that passing downs roll back. That was in the Super Bowl mainly. And this is an offense that got a lot stronger at wide receiver. It's why Mahomes is the number 1 quarterback for me this year. While all the other great quarterbacks in the league saw something happen to them that could hurt their numbers, Mahomes added 2 fast wide receivers. That could help his numbers. It can make the team more pass friendly, could take opportunities away from Isiah Pacheco, who might be 2 fumbles away from losing his gig to somebody who might not even be on the team. I know the depth behind Isiah Pacheco right now. It's laughable with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the rugby player that's there. Deneric Prince is still there, but what's stopping the Chiefs from getting in the mix to add another running back during the preseason to kind of lighten the load for Pacheco and give them an insurance policy in case Isiah Pacheco isn't as good as he's been the second half of last year?
I'll say this about Pacheco. He became the feature back for the Chiefs midway through the 2022 season. He then played 22 games going into the postseason, and then next season he scored more than 16.2 PPR fantasy points in 1 of 22 games in that stretch. And then he finished with a huge flurry. So I think people are drafting him based on what happened in the last 8 games of the season, including the playoffs last year, where he was unbelievable. But what happened there? Jerick McKinnon barely played, and he got a lot more targets and he got more catches and he scored a ton of touchdowns. If they find a third down back, I think it's really going to hurt Pacheco. If Mahomes throws more touchdowns and Pacheco rushes for fewer touchdowns, I think he's a bust if he goes in round 2. I can't really make a case for him as a bust if he's got an ADP around 30. But if he's a round 2 pick, I could see him performing. Like last year, he was RB14 per game. That's not great. And I could see him scoring fewer touchdowns and having fewer catches. So, I think he could be like RB16 or something, and that's probably a bust in round 2. Go ahead, Jamie.
I just think this offense gets better and he gets more scoring opportunities. Whether he's going to get the opportunity to score them himself, that's certainly up for debate. But I think just by nature of this team challenging more downfield, opening up underneath for a lot of different options, because if they're not going to play Travis Kelce as much, he still becomes a factor in the pass game. You said that he got a lot of his production when Jerick McKinnon wasn't available. Well, Jerick McKinnon's not on the team.
I know. I said they have to add a third down
back. Yeah, I mean, but to add a third down back at this point, like Dave said, they've shown that they've gone out and been aggressive in getting some retread veterans in the past that haven't exactly worked out for them late in the year. I just feel like this guy is locked in as the running back for Andy Reid on one of, if not the best offenses in football. I'm going to take my chances with that more times than not. So I will take him in round 2. I love the setup for him because of the lack of competition. And I do think that he still hopefully will remain healthy. Now, look, he battled some injuries last year, had a shoulder problem they had to play through. That's part of it. I know Dave didn't pick any running backs, I'm sure, for that reason, not wanting to take any of the biggest injury risk players, which makes total sense because they're all busts at this position. But I was trying to just give some non-bust proof running backs that I think, or at least one that matters here. And I think he's kind of non-bust proof of the non-top 5-6 guys because of where he's being drafted based on the production and potential that he has.